Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
2 years later, NDSU student Tommy Bearson's death still remains a mystery and the top priority of the Moorhead Police Department. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. As far as the murder investigation goes, there are still few details, no motive and no arrests. Police found Bearson's body in a Moorhead parking lot a few days after he disappeared. Through it all, Tom's parents have remained focused on giving back while battling their grief. Liz Collin shows us their latest project as police push for answers.
It's no longer a fun month for me, and obviously for us.
As a Catholic school teacher in Sartell for most of her career, September was once filled with excitement for the year ahead.
It's just that constant pit in your stomach, and you just wish it were different.
But after their 18-year-old son was killed,
it's a battle. It's a battle every day.
September seems different. Tom Bearson had just started school at NDSU. He went missing on September 20th. His body discovered 3 days later in an RV lot in nearby Moorhead. Tom's iPhone 5 and Nike Air Jordan have never been found. Beyond that information, little else has been publicly released, including how Tom died.
They continue to tell us that the case is very, very active.
Investigators visited the Bearsons twice this summer. A police spokesperson told us Tom's death is considered the department's highest priority, weighing heavily on officers' shoulders. As for why so few details have been disclosed, police say doing so could be detrimental to their hunt for his killer.
We're very confident that there's going to be a resolution in the case.
Early on, the Bearsons knew they wanted to give back for all the support they've been given.
Find what you love and make it your passion. That was all about Tom.
Their foundation raised $80,000 for a gym remodel at St. Francis Xavier, a new floor, glass backboards, and lights. A tribute to their son, the standout basketball player.
I have so many memories in this gym, some amazing memories of Tom in this gym.
Now the Bearsons will focus on college safety.
That burst of freedom when you leave high school, it's a really heady experience.
Preparing students sooner for the freedom that lies ahead.
Really get them before they leave.
As they patiently await justice and push on for Tom.
Giving back to the community is really kind of therapy to the soul.
Liz Collin, WCCO4 News.
2 more fundraisers are planned for next year. The foundation also awards 3 scholarships to basketball players in Tom's hometown. To find out more about the Tom Bearson Foundation, click on the hot button at valleynewslive.com. Some new information for you now. A murder charge has been filed surrounding a Moorhead house fire back in June. A body was found in the rubble at 1019 11th Avenue South on June 28th and identified as 49-year-old Melissa Jane Wilcoxon from Moorhead. At the time, police identified this man, 39-year-old Justin Marshall Critt, as a suspect. Today, we learned that he has been charged with second-degree murder and first-degree arson. He remains in the Cass County Jail on unrelated charges. Valley News Live talked with Jason Critt at a house fire days earlier in Detroit Lakes. No charges have been filed there, but investigators have been looking into a possible connection involving Critt. The man who survived a vicious stabbing rampage at a crowded Minnesota mall on Saturday is now speaking out about the terrifying attack. 20-year-old Dahir Adan was shot and killed by an off-duty officer after he stabbed 10 people. Isaiah Moordahl says he was leaving work at a pretzel shop at Crossroads Center Mall Saturday with his girlfriend when he saw a man stab 2 people. Moordahl says he and his girlfriend were cornered by the man before they could run. Moordahl suffered a stab wound that required stitches. The stabber then turned his attention to Moordahl's girlfriend, who is 9 months pregnant. As Moordahl screamed and ran at him, the man cut the back of her neck.
I begged him, don't kill me, please don't do this. I don't know why you're doing this, but you don't have to. He then screamed something inaudible at me, ran at me with his arm cocked back, at which point I ducked and kind of turned, and then he struck me and stabbed me in my right shoulder blade.
The suspect in the stabbings, Dahir Adan, lived in Fargo for a period of time before moving to St. Cloud. Because of this, Fargo police say they're working with the FBI. Fargo Police Chief David Todd tells Valley News Live Adan was not on their radar, and he has no indication that radicalization is happening here in Fargo. However, his department has since handed over documentation showing the dates Adon's family lived in Fargo. Todd said beyond that, it wouldn't be appropriate for him to comment on the investigation. A Minnesota restaurant owner who is upset about the terror attack at a St. Cloud mall is stirring up controversy with a sign he put up outside his business. The sign outside Treat's Family Restaurant in Lonsdale reads, "Muslims, get out." Owner Dan Rudinger says the sign has led to some backlash, but he has no plans to take it down. It's wet but quiet out there today. Will the rain stick around through the evening? Let's find out from Hutch what's happening tonight. Hutch?
Thanks, Andrea. After a soggy start to the day here in the FM area, picking up a good 2 to 3/10 of an inch of rain, things quieted down. Hey, late last night in the cloud-free skies, we had an appearance of the northern lights. Thanks, Tracy, for uploading this photo to Valley News Live. Notice the rain clearing out. The sky is still mostly cloudy, though, in the southern valley. Sunshine up north and 70s there, but we certainly see the impact of the cloud cover across the Central Valley from Fargo all the way out to Duluth. A lot of 60s in that zone. Here is a peek then at your forecast for tonight. Beautiful conditions, light winds, and gradually clearing skies. We'll be dipping into the 50s by bedtime. Coming up, we've been talking about chances of rain as we go through the rest of our work week. I'll detail all of that coming up here in a second.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Hutch. Fargo police need your help identifying a woman involved in a burglary. Take a look at these surveillance pictures. Officials say she's suspected of forgery stemming from a garage burglary this past May. If you have any information on the woman, contact Detective Grant Kendall at the Fargo Police Department. Here's the number, 241-1390. The North Dakota Department of Health has announced the state's second West Nile virus-related death this year. The individual was a man who lived in central North Dakota and was older than 60. The first West Nile-related death this year was 76-year-old Arnold Esterby. He was known as a vibrant and active Fargo man who worked at the Fargo Jet Center. To date, 60 human West Nile virus cases have been reported in 24 counties this year. In 2015, North Dakota had 23 West Nile cases and 1 death. We are 7 weeks from Election Day, and you're probably seeing and hearing more ads for candidates and issues. Tonight, we look into how many of those ads are specifically marketed to play into your emotions. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop finds out if voters can see past that.
You may have gotten the mailers, like this one, telling people to vote no on Measure 4. They say it's a 400% tax increase.
The flashy flyer with a big headline stating something that you can relate to, that's more likely to catch your attention.
Or you've seen the emotional ad for Measure 3.
Criminal has much more rights when it comes to the judicial process and the criminal trial process than the families do at all.
We asked people if the emotions or big headlines sway their opinions.
I mean, it's not going to affect what I feel about it anyway, but no, it don't really affect me.
I usually figure most of them are playing on emotion, so I go research them before I even make a decision.
Actually, I listen to the radio more than just looking at the ads, and I learn from there.
NDSU communications professor Elizabeth Crawford says emotional appeals are used because they have a quicker response rate.
They're trying to appeal to what they think their audience already feels, and it's more likely to get their attention if it's something that they're familiar with. So any ad that is simple, shows an emotion. If you think about direct mail, we don't have a whole lot of time to, let's say, read through a whole letter presenting all the facts.
Crawford, along with many of the people we spoke with, said it's important to do your research and find out about the topic before voting on it. Now, you should read the fine print on these ads. We here at Valley News Live understand that you're probably busy, so we'll be breaking down some of the upcoming measures for you. Tonight, we start with Measure 1. The one-sentence measure prohibits an individual from serving in the Legislative Assembly unless the person lives within the district he or she was selected. A vote yes means you agree the person should live within the district they run in, and a vote no means you disagree, and people don't have to live within the district they're running in. Now, to find a whole list of the measures, click on this story on valleynewslive.com. Andrea?
All right, thank you so much, Ashley. There are a total of 5 measures with topics ranging from taxes to tobacco and marijuana. As Ashley said, we'll have more on these in the coming weeks. Hillary Clinton has a lead over Donald Trump in the latest weekly NBC News SurveyMonkey online national tracking poll. Clinton has 50% of support among likely voters, compared to Trump's 45%. In a two-way matchup among registered voters, Clinton is also leading Trump 49% to 43%. Clinton also leads Trump on the question that asks voters who they think will win. Currently, 56% of likely voters think Clinton will win. Just 39% think Trump will win. The head of banking giant Wells Fargo apologized today to customers for more than 2 million fake accounts opened in their names. CEO John Stumpf issued the apology at a hearing before the Senate Banking Committee, where he came under fire for the bank's shady business practices. Stumpf says the scandal pains him more than any problem faced by the bank in his 35 years there, and that he accepts responsibility.
I am deeply sorry that we failed to fulfill on our responsibility to our customers, to our team members, and to the American public.
Stumpf says the fake accounts cost the bank both money and satisfied customers. He says the issue was not an orchestrated scheme. You may not want to think about snow in September, but the Minnesota Department of Transportation is doing just that. More than 120 snowplow operators from MnDOT and the city of Minneapolis are training the next 2 weeks at Camp Ripley near Little Falls, Minnesota, to learn how to handle the upcoming winter. The training program is a 2-week session that highlights a variety of safety measures and plowing techniques. From fun cuts to shaved heads or bold colors, people are showing support to a battle that families right here in the Valley are fighting. Thursday at the Bowler is the first Brave Cuts Bold Colors event. Gold is the color for childhood cancer, so people are putting a colored streak in their hair to show support and raise awareness. Donations will all go to families at Sanford Children's Hospital and the Roger Maris Cancer Center, where parents say they make a difference for their child fighting cancer.
It's not something people want to talk about. It's not something you see advertised as much as some other ones. So if I can come out and raise a little awareness and let people know that we have this great cancer center in Fargo and great team and doctors, and why not give back?
Thursday's event is from 4 to 8 p.m. The Cass County Sheriff's Office received funding today from Cornerstone Dental Group to enhance the safety of K-9 Deputy Ed. Deputy Dan Herman and K-9 Ed have been an active team for the past 8.5 years with several narcotics-related arrests. And today, Ed received a ballistic vest that cost $1,000. If you're buying premium gas for your vehicle, you might be wasting your money. That's still ahead tonight.
Gray skies and about 2/10 of an inch of rain falling in Fargo. 68, the high temperature we reached here. It does look like things were warmer for both Grand Forks as well as Jamestown. Coming up, more rain in the forecast. I'll have details on when and where right after these messages.